Have you been spending a bit too much time on social media lately? It's okay, we all love watching those funny cat videos. I firmly believe that to take control of this pesky habit, all you need is a little bit of information and a wisp of mindfulness. Today I'll cover the role social media plays in our lives, how it becomes this pesky habit, and share some tips from my personal experience on how you can take control of your usage. If you're new here, I'm Modern Monk, and in this channel I explore and promote ways to have more mindfulness in our daily lives. A skill that will help you stay in the present moment, which is the key to living a happier life, because our minds are often trapped either in the past or the future, which makes no sense, because the present moment is all we really have. Whether you like it or not, living without social media these days is next to impossible. It is a part of our lives and it has the potential to change them for the better or for the worse. Social media can be a very powerful tool when used correctly. The free available information on social media such as YouTube has the potential to help you become whoever you want, wherever you want, and whenever you want. Like say if you wanted to become a bike mechanic or whatever, the free information is abundant. All you need is an internet connection. Well, unless you live in a jungle or something. However, social media can also be a powerful distraction that pulls you away from the present moment, pulls you away from reality, where you spend enormous amounts of time without even noticing it. In fact, it is so powerful that it can convince you of things that can literally change your life. For example, you might read on some social media that violent crime is a bigger problem than it actually is. You might find yourself walking the streets with fear, anxiety, and staying home more, and avoiding interactions with new people. And that is just a few examples. I trust you can grasp how vast the effects can be, especially when everything adds up. And since all the things you see and hear are actually being processed subconsciously, you may not even be aware of most of the effects. All the problems begin when we start using social media without mindfulness. In other words, when we lose awareness on how it affects our lives. You see, social media needs to make money somehow. And this free information I've talked about before, well, it's not really free. Just instead of money, you're actually paying with something far more valuable, your attention. Where you distribute your attention literally defines your reality. You cannot put a price on that. Like in the example with the violent crime being a bigger problem than it is. It's not really a bigger problem, but for you, if you believe that it is, well then, it is.
Captain Obvious.
That's why where you distribute your attention has enormous effect on your well-being and many areas of your life. Whatever influence social media has on you, you can benefit a lot by starting to use it more mindfully. By using it more mindfully, you will be able to exactly tell how it's influencing you, and gradually take control of how you use it. However, to begin using social media with mindfulness, we first need to understand some underlying mechanisms. It is no secret that social media can be the source, or at least a part of a lot of our bad habits. From simply spending too much time watching funny cat videos to plainly allowing likes, comments, and opinions of others dictate how happy we are. It is really difficult to use social media with mindfulness when it is part of our habitual patterns. Things we do out of habit rarely include mindfulness. Let's take a closer look on how these patterns are formed so we have a better chance to deal with them. A habit cycle consists of three parts: some external stimuli in search for a reward, your action in response to the stimuli, and the reward. For example, your stimuli might be the feeling of hunger, your response might be eating something, and your reward is feeling satiated. According to research, you cannot change the outer parts of this equation and can only tackle the middle. So in the hunger example, you will keep getting sensations of hunger in search for satiety, and the only thing you can change is the thing you eat. This is a very basic example, but all of our habits essentially work the same way. And in some sense, we are just a big bag of habits. I will not be going into much more detail about the science behind habits, but if you're interested to learn more, there's two books I'd recommend. Firstly, Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. So to have more control of our social media habits, we need to identify the two outer parts of the habit equation. What is the stimuli and what reward are we seeking when we're opening social media? Let's look at another example. People often scroll social media when they want to take a break. You're busy working and you decide you need some time off. So you get up from your desk, go fall in a comfy chair, open social media, and scroll there in search for a break. Let's put this into the habit scheme. Your stimuli is feeling tired, the sensation of needing a break. Your action is falling in the chair and scrolling social media, and your reward is the feeling that you took some time off. So what's wrong with this? Well, your brain and mind, the very things that needed rest, are actually working overtime when you're scrolling those funny cat videos. All of the things you see on your screen need to be processed by your brain. It is no different than working on some intense task. The content you see often changes by the seconds, and your brain needs a lot of processing power to register everything it sees. So to conclude, you need a break, but you're actually working more. Seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Captain Obvious.
Once you identify that you wanted to open social media in search for a break, you can try to exchange the middle part by something that will actually give you some rest. Like falling in a comfy chair and doing one of my guided breathworks, for example. The link to the playlist will be in the description if you're interested. The hard part will be questioning yourself every time you open social media. This brings me to the technique that I've used to take control of my social media. It is fairly simple, yet very effective. I have all of my social medias locked under a passcode on my phone. Now, I'm not suggesting something crazy, like lock all of your social media apps under a passcode and tell it to your friend. You will always know the password. You will have full control. The idea is that whenever you need to open social media, the passcode serves as a reminder to ask yourself, why do I want to open it? Maybe you want to see who has liked your story on Instagram. Now that is an anti-pattern on its own. As there is no positive outcome, you can only get disappointed by seeing that there's not enough likes or that some particular person hasn't liked your story. But that is not the point now. I'll let you draw your own conclusions as you go along. So you open Instagram to see who has liked your story, yet you stay there for another 5 minutes scrolling funny cat videos. This brings me to the second part of the technique that I use. After you're done with your social media interaction, take notes, or at least mental notes, on why did I open it and did I do what I intended to do when I opened it. For the beginning, I highly recommend taking actual notes, and as you get better, you will replace it with mental notes naturally. The hardest part will be to question yourself every time you open social media, hence the passcode can help. However, if you feel like you can question yourself without the passcode, be my guest. But from experience, I can say that is very, very difficult. I am a very disciplined person. I get up at 4 in the morning, sometimes earlier, every single day, even on the weekends. I have very strict exercise and overall life routines in place. Yet I still struggle to take control of my social media usage if I don't have some techniques in place to do it. Do you have some techniques of your own that you use to take control of your social media experience? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to read all about it. Treating social media like that will help you start using it with more mindfulness. Therefore, your precious attention can be used elsewhere, like actually taking a break, reading a book, or spending time with people you love. You name it. I'll repeat myself here, as this is probably the main thing I want you to take away. Where you distribute your attention literally defines your reality. You may think that reducing your social media time by just 5 minutes is not a big thing, but 5 minutes at the end of the month is over 2 hours. And at the end of the year, it's more than 25 hours. That could have been a book or 2 books, and a book can change your life. So next time you're scrolling those funny cat videos or reading how the world is going to end during your coffee break, try to remember that. And don't feel like you're not mentally strong enough to make a change, because you are. All it takes is to firstly become aware of the information and make small gradual changes which will accumulate over longer periods of time and provide noticeable results. If you had the capacity to understand what I'm talking about in this video, you are more than capable. Hopefully this gives you some help on how to take control of your social media usage. If all this mindfulness talk sounded interesting to you, you might also enjoy this video where I talk about how to start enjoying meditation, the absolute best skill you can learn in order to start living a more mindful life. Or this video where I talk about this other mindfulness practice that can help you take control of your sleep and experience more of your life. Thank you all so very much for watching, stay mindful, and I hope to see you in the next one.